Good morning. Welcome to Hindu Newspaper Analysis 30th December 2022. First article talks about remote EVM ready to help migrants vote outside states. In an interesting development, the Election Commission of India decided to allow migrant workers to cast their votings. Till now, you have ballot voting given for the services people who are serving in the government, and government is also considering about proxy voting for NRIs. Now it is going to, that is Election Commission of India is going to test this remote voting for the migrant workers. Now what is the system and how it goes? So this remote electronic voting machines to enable voting by migrants. So the migrant workers can go for voting in this system. Now they have to register either offline or online within a pre-notified time before the elections with their home constituency returning officers. After a successful verification in their home constituency, the voter will be approved for a remote voting facility. The government of India, the Election Commission of India is now going to discuss with the political parties and it is going to launch this project. And you know very well that it is the Abraham Lincoln who says that elections are not for parties, elections is for the people. And we should also remember the quotation given by Winston Churchill, who said that the little man walking freely into the little polling booth and using his little pencil to vote is a true hallmark of success democracy. To uphold these two statements, Election Commission of India is taking a very good step, and we should welcome it. Next article talks about Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh requesting Amit Shah to set up this forensic university. National Forensic Science University is a proposal by the government of Andhra Pradesh to establish in Tirupati. Let us wait and watch for the next developments in this issue. In editorial, there was an article talking about credit challenges. One must remember what is this issue is about. In the recent past, India's credit system is also growing. RBI, in its report on trade progress of banking in India, mentioned that there was a subsequent expansion of credit. But it also highlighted that deposits are slow. As of now, the report given by RBI, it stated that deposits are just 9.9%, whereas credit growth is at 17.5%. One should remember that it is not a one-night event or overnight event, because the credit growth is as per the requirements of the unlock time. At the same time, after post-COVID recovery, credit is growing. But deposits are facing several challenges. You should remember that retail inflation is high. At the same time, price stability is also volatile. And there is a low faith over Indian banking system to some sections of people. Now we should remember that this low credit deposit growth is also involves some bank management issues also. We are witnessing time and again the mismanagement of credit, and it is leading to NPAs, and it is eroding the faith on the banks. Now, the author who wrote the editorial also highlighted that the credit growth is expanding, and even private companies are investing in the capital expenditure. If you recall, we discussed about economic advisor Anantha Nageswaran sometimes back. He said that credit growth is enabling the capital expenditure in India. However, he also raised concerns that private investment should raise their capital expenditure along with the public. He stated that government should also think about rising capital expenditure, because state governments are nowadays looking more towards the revenue expenditure but not capital expenditure. You are well aware that capital expenditure is going to create assets and it is going to create some revenue. Now, the author says that just 3 lakh private investors are creating only 3 lakh crores capital expenditure, they need support from even from the government side. Now, apart from that, other also prized the sounding or good balance sheets of the government, of the banks. So all the public sector banks maintaining somewhat better balance sheets when you compare with the pre-COVID time. Other thanks to the asset quality reviews of RBI, mandated for stress asset recognition, write-offs by the write-offs by the public sector banks, and loan recovery under insolvency and bankruptcy code. So these things are helping the banks to maintain the perfect healthy balance sheets. Further, he also suggested that to reduce NPAs, banks can also work on the solid credit appraisal, due diligence from the bank side. So this is the article which is giving us a chance to understand what is the current economy status in India. In another editorial, friendly neighbors, author discussed about India and neighborhood relations with respect to Maldives. It was in UPSC Mains once upon a time. There was a question about Maldives political developments. Now you have to read this article from the background. In recent past, Abdullah Amin, ex-president of Maldives, played a critical role in India's relation. He with his pro-Chinese attitude, allowed Chinese governments into the infrastructure projects, and even he started to roll out India Out campaign. It is unfortunate that he targeted India's projects. He cancelled India's private company involvement in the airport project of Maldives. He also laid down several restrictions on India's migrants. During the same time, even India witnessed a rise of ISIS in Maldives and radicalization, which severely raised concerns over India's security in the coastal region of India's west coastal region. Further, it is also well noted that Abdullah Amin led the campaign of India Out to clearly indicating to eliminate India's involvement in Maldives politics and even socio-economic development. However, thanks to the new president Ibrahim Mohammed Soli, who created a positive relations between India and Maldives. Now, India involved in infrastructure projects like Greater Malay project, Hani Madhav Airport project, Hull Malay Cricket Stadium, and Gulfi Hulu Port. So these projects indeed rising India's support to the Maldives. Apart from that, India even helping Maldives from last 2 months. For example, in the month of November, India extended unconditional loan of $100 million US. Then in the month of December, RBI accepted currency swap agreement under SARC currency swap agreement. Apart from that, we also have National Center for Good Governance in Maldives in 2019, which recently even trained civil servants of Maldives. So now, this is quite important for us to remember all these things. So India should continue this kind of help to strengthen the Maldives socio-economic culture, which will also enable India's relations in a smooth and sane manner. Lead article talks about leveraging voice technology to combat cyber fraud. The single point we have to remember in this article is RBI report estimated that cyber frauds over banks are rising from last 7 years. On an own, estimated 100 crores loss was created for last 7 years because of cyber attacks. Now, what is interesting is why it is a rise. The author said that it is a rise due to expansion of internet. Absolutely, it was mentioned by Internet Mobile Association in India. India is now the second largest internet provider to the people. At the same time, mobile expansion also rised. Online banking is also rising because of a lot of activities in India, which is involved by Digital India campaign, financial inclusion, and also we can see that fintech companies also rise in India. Now, at this point of time, concerns also rise over the breach of security. You should remember that India witnessed a breach of security even for the AIMS recently in ransomware. Now, at that point of time, how banks can be secured? Others suggested a single point suggestion, that is VT, stands for voice technology. Now, VT stands for voice technology, is a voice biometric speech recognition, there is no need for any password, any codes, or any so-called idea of remembering the cards and everything. Now the simple thing is enable this voice recognition, which is the remotely can be worked without need of any devices or any passwords. Now it was tested by HSBC Bank, of India's first voice recognition biometric bank, which reduced the 50% of frauds. So it is high time to enable this voice recognition technology to help the banks in countering the cyber attacks. You can also ask me, sir, why can't face? Face is estimated to have errors, and sometimes face is also subject for some kind of changes. For example, there can be a deep fake technology where we can hack this fake system. So face cannot be a foolproof mechanism as per this author's argument. Apart from that, face technology also may include hacking and breach and spoofing and copy, and also throughout the globe face technology is also having a lot of errors. At the same time, face technology is also not worthy in that pilot projects of several mechanisms throughout the globe. So authors stressing the need for voice recognition, which can be a solution for us in writing answer writing issues. Next article talks about, should India review its position on Taliban? Now you can read the article because nothing much is happening. It is they are giving solutions, not solutions also. They are just analyzing the current situation. I will brief up within few minutes. Now Doha Accords in 2020 enables this Taliban leading the government in Afghanistan. So the Talibanization started in this era of past 2 years, which is leading to create some complex situations throughout the region. Now in the South Asia, Afghanistan is heart of South Asia. Now any security concerns in this region is going to impact the region in a severe manner. Now in this context, others are raising that Talibanization is different from India's point of view. India believed that democratic Afghan-led, Afghan-owned solution for the militancy in Taliban, not this kind of overnight handover of power to Taliban. But anyway, India is still hoping that Taliban will have a soft corner. In fact, we can see that from last few weeks, different articles of different foreign ministers talking about how Taliban is recognizing India. And even for recent minister of Taliban said that India can continue their own projects in Taliban. But still, India has official recognition yet to come. Not only India, even several countries are yet to recognize Taliban's role in Afghanistan. What is unfortunate is Taliban is again going back to their earlier rule in 2001. During 2001, during this past rule, Taliban imposed several restrictions on communities, several restrictions on religions, now even for their women. So recently, Taliban gave an open statement that banning of employment of women and education institutions in their country. So in this context, they reviewed the position of India's position. You can read the article, but not much to gain. As per my reading, you can read it. Next, we have a beautiful image that tribal people getting the mark of modernity. Now this tribal group image is not important. For us, it is important. It is Bonda tribe which are living in Malkazgiri, and they are now having this beautiful traditional beads. Okay, just remember this Bonda tribe located in which state? It is in Malkazgiri of Odisha. Next article talks about need patriotic citizens in border villages for national security shock. Amit Shah said that we need these model villages, patriotic villages in this border regions. If you recall, a couple of months back, Prime Minister Modi sir also mentioned that India's first villages are the border villages. Now, what is this Vibrant Village program? This was announced during the budget speech 2022, where government said that it is going to develop this Vibrant Village program in a way that it is going to create infrastructure, water facilities, agriculture, trade and development within the 0 to 10 kilometers of international borders. So these border areas will get this beautiful overall comprehensive infrastructure, socio-economic development elements under this Vibrant Village program. This will be done under Border Area Development Program of Government of India. If you remember, if you have everything in your village, let us say water, infrastructure, employment, education, opportunities, why people will migrate to other places, said by one geographer. Now it is the motto of Government of India to develop this kind of things. Further, it is also mentioned that how Indian government faced challenges from the drones. For example, last 6 months, Indian government destroyed almost 22 drones. So this was the information article from the information you can remember for all the time. Next article talks about study shows Tamil Nadu is worst performing in RTI responses. You should remember this interesting thing, that is, in SP Gupta case in 1982, Supreme Court said that a right to information comes under even Article 19 Clause 1. So this information is very important nowadays for the people, because democracy stands on two pillars: transparency and this accountability. So providing information is one of the years-old practice in India. If you recall, Ashokan edicts provided information to the people. Arthashastra talks about government should be transparent and open. Now at the same time, Indian government also chooses this path, but the path of right to information is not smooth. You should recall that Right to Information Act in 2005 was developed from the Freedom of Information Act 2002. What is more interesting is Tamil Nadu is the first state, in fact, to pass this RTA law in 1997. Now, what is further interesting is the state which provided this Right to Information Act in 1997, way before the India. Now, that state is not providing information to the people. It was the report given by Satrik Nagarik Sangatan 2021-22 stated that Tamil Nadu is the worst performing in RTI responses. Around 14% of information are provided by state. Next we have Maharashtra. So remember this information for our answer writing point of view. It is sad told that the famous football player Pele died last night. So he passes away very recently also. So let us pay tribute to him for his great contribution to the game. Thank you so much, and that's all for today. Namaste and Jai Hind.